The only person who's capable of changing the INTP's mind is the INTP himself. And that is the truth.
What do you mean by that?
What's good, you guys? So today we'll be talking about some INTP stereotypes in the MBTI community, debunking some of those myths and really trying to see what the INTP is actually all about. INTPs are inherently smart, hyper intellectually curious individuals. There are ESFPs smarter and more capable in specific fields than the INTP counterparts. So it doesn't really mean shit, you know?
I don't think you have the facilities for that, big man.
It is about how the individual learns rather than if the individual can learn. Because everyone can learn, but we all learn differently and kind of apply things differently. If you are someone who believes the INTP is the most intellectually curious type, it isn't. The ENTP would be the most intellectually curious type. Of course, the Enneagram 7, the average Da Vinci archetype, right, who is a polymath, all about expanding intellectualism, all about mental stimulation, getting more and more and more and more information, which again is much more kind of characteristic of the Enneagram 7 or the Enneagram dominant type. Second stereotype, which is very common in the community, is that they are disorganized, messy, they don't care, go with the flow, laid back types. Now, this kind of stereotype came from a simple misunderstanding because we have the P at the end, which is the perceiving type, meaning they're not organized, they're not really conscientious, they kind of go with the flow, right? INTJ is more serious with it. We look at the cognitive function of the INTP, we see a rational function, being TI. This is how they view the world, through this rational function called introverted thinking, which is systematic, which is organized, which is categorical, linear logic. So when you have someone like this, you're not going to have a very disorganized, chaotic individual. In fact, the INTP is a dutiful and conscientious type. Another stereotype that you see with the INTP personality type is that they don't care about their appearance in any way, shape, or form. With their sensing elements being in the place that they are not very creative with appearance and kind of taking care of stuff like this. But that doesn't mean that they don't care. They do care quite a lot, and they're very sensitive in those areas. The INTP is someone who's very adaptable and open-minded.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
In this case, we have someone who in reality is really not that open as you might think. It is a TI dominant individual who has his subjective framework created, who has those truths, subjective truths that he adheres to because he believes they are right. Now you come along and you try to tell them, no, I don't agree with it. Even if you have consistency in your logic, kudos to you, it does not change shit. If they don't agree, they don't agree. The only person who's capable of changing the INTP's mind is the INTP himself. And that is the truth. INTP is this rebellious, free-flowing individual who doesn't care about any authority or rules.
Stop the cap.
So you have this type, right? In the Enneagram side is afraid of consequences, negative consequences of their actions.
But sometimes we venture too far. No great science should ever put lives in danger.
I believe I've discovered something truly incredible. A way to harness magic through science.
Magic?
Yes.
No. The arcane is dangerous, Jace. A force of nature. Science cannot control it. All my life I've pursued the mysteries of science, only to discover some are better left unsolved.
This is how fear works. Fear works with authority, with a position, with power. So they're afraid of doing things or breaking certain rules or breaking certain things because they're scared of the consequences. And you somehow think the INTP is also the same type who's going to disregard authorities and rules and such things. So I'm kind of confused, how is this supposed to work? And last stereotype I wanted to talk about is the fact that people think of the INTP as this inventor, this person who is the true outside of the box thinker. I'm not saying that's not possible, that an LII can invent things. This is not a problem at all, but more so the thinking that this is the outside of the box thinker. In fact, I would say that they're not outside of the box thinkers. They are enslaved by logic. So as long as you doing everything, judging the world through the lens of logic, you will never be a true outside of the box thinker. A good example is the NI dominant type, like the INTJ, who in my opinion would be the true outside of the box thinker.
Time to crank it. Are you sure you know what you're doing?
I don't think it's gonna hold. Look at the buildup.
The resonance will stabilize it. Trust me. I told you it would work. All yours.
It is based on interpretation, the essence of things, what they can mean, how they can relate to one another on a more abstract level. That is the true outside of the box thinker. This is my breakdown of the INTP stereotypes. Now, guys, if you know any other stereotypes, write down below in the comment section. Let me know, because I was trying to make this shit up on my own, and I kind of feel like a lot of it is repetitive. So let's get the comment section going. I'm out. Ciao, see yous, and I'm bouncing.